studio saw him as somebody who they could attach his name to a project and it would make more money. For example, there's a show called Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, and I'm one of the leads, and my name does not appear on the box, but Vic Mignogna's name does, even though I'm the lead character.
Well, it would appear that yet another voice actor is now being harassed and attacked on Twitter for simply having to stand with Vic Mignogna and also having to send personal emails to Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial about his personal opinions on Vic's case and shedding advice to both Monica and Jamie, but it appears that Twitter is misconstruing this and now having to shift the blame on over to him. As once more before we begin, if you are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all things involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Toye, and many of the news and updates involving the Vic Mignogna case, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. Be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys do stand with Vic, as well as making sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at Unreal and Gaming, to where there you guys will be able to find lots of anime and Dragon Ball content that you guys will not get to find on here. So be sure to subscribe over on that channel, in which you guys can find the link to Unreal and Gaming located down in the description box below, and follow me at Twitter at Unreal and Gaming to stay connected with me at all times. And if you have anything you would like to share or tag me in involving Vic Mignogna or any of the parties involved in this case, then be sure to go on ahead and follow me at Twitter. Now, before we kick things off, guys, I just want to go on ahead and remind you we are going to be further discussing the Marvel Phase 4 announcements made at San Diego Comic-Con, alongside theoretical videos on Marvel, DC, thoughts on Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, all that good stuff on the channel. So be sure to tune back in for that, because I've taken a moment to step away from that in addressing this specific issue, because this issue not only affects the entire anime community as a whole, but people in our general society as well, as it can easily be taken out of context for someone's actions to be scrutinized in painting someone out to be a complete monster. Now, case in point with the first example having to be presented on screen by Renfamous over on Twitter, Renfamous went on to post, and I quote, "So, Chuck Huber, acting on Mignogna's behalf, tried to bully Vic's victims into signing statements absolving Vic of guilt and blaming themselves for speaking out. In quoting said friends will not show up in court for you. You will be on your own. You have a chance to walk away gracefully." As of course she continues, "You're a victim-blaming sack of assholes, Chuck." In further having to blame Chuck Huber for aiding Monica Rial and Jamie Marchi, and simply having to let them know that Sean Schimmel and Chris Sabat, as quoted, are not going to show up in court for you. You will be on your own. You have a chance to walk away gracefully and let the lawyer fight with the companies, if that is the end result. Anyone egging you on towards the suit does not have your best interest at heart, nor your financial responsibility. The lawyers are indifferent to this negotiation, and it is solely my own. So you'd expect from me. Which in translation, Chuck is basically letting Monica and Jamie know that no, other people aren't going to fight your battles for you. Just because you call someone your friend does not mean that they have your best interest at heart, which he goes further to tell Monica and Jamie, listen, people that are egging you on to further stir the pot here are simply doing this out of their own interest to gain from your losses. And he's not wrong in doing that, but notice how Renfamous is trying to paint out this narrative that Chuck is blaming Monica and Jamie for coming out as victims, but nowhere in that statement is Chuck directly saying, hey, this is your fault, you're the ones to blame. Not at all. Chuck is simply giving his opinion and advice in letting them know, hey, not everyone's your friend, not everyone has your best interest at heart, and Renfamous is now taking this and shifting the burden of blame and now having to insinuate the fact that Chuck made statements to directly blame Monica and Jamie for, quote, being victims when that never happened. All he did was, as a friend, give them advice and an opinion as to where he stands about this entire situation objectively, and simply letting them know, hey, be careful. Not everyone's your friend, and not everyone cares about what's best for you. But notice how they're making this out to be an issue, as now everyone's pointing the finger at Chuck Huber. But it doesn't end there, because Dominique Sky also went on to quote tweet something and having to state, this sums up Chuck's email pretty well. As of course another individual went on to comment, mend the fandom by throwing Vic's victims under the bus and extorting a company for PR. Such a generous soul. Again, not extorting anything by giving a simple opinion on the fact that not everyone's your friend, and he never once threw, quote, Vic's victims under the bus when having to tell them, hey, Chris and Sean aren't going to show up in court for you. If they do end up showing up in court, it's going to be to defend themselves, not to defend you. But again, everyone's taking this and misconstruing the idea that Chuck is throwing them under the bus. Why? Because he's on the other side? Because he wants to simply give them advice and letting them know, hey, not everyone has your best interest at heart. Oh no, somehow all of a sudden you are against me because you think that other people won't come to defend me, and guess what? They won't. So how does this objectively make Chuck out to be such a bad person? Oh, I know why. It's because he's not standing with the kick Vickers. He's not standing on the side of subjective truth when he's looking at the overall objective narrative. As we are also going to be talking about Kara Edwards on another video in terms of her affidavit, but it's interesting how in her statement she went on to quote, he seductively grabbed me in a tango dance move, but there is a video produced by fans that proves otherwise. Now, just in case you guys missed this, go on ahead and check it out. Now, so much for he seductively grabbed me into a tango dance, huh? Especially after she initiated it, but she went on to respond to this in letting people know, hey, there was something else that he did afterwards that wasn't seen on video, to where I thought this was all ha-has and laughs and I wanted to go along with it, but then he grabbed me and he pulled me in. What are you talking about? If that's your claim, then you went along to dance with him and initiated it the first time. So for him to allegedly walk on over and dance with you again isn't necessarily a bad thing when looking at what you've done on video. You walked up to the guy, you extended your arm, you consented to a stupid dance in front of the public, and now you're going to cry about it? What Looney Tune world are we living in here? Nothing seems to add up and nothing seems to make sense anymore. But by the end of it all, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below about Kara Edwards. If you guys agree that Chuck Huber is basically in the wrong, there is so much to discuss, guys, that we are going to be discussing on this channel. Once again, if you guys are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. More importantly, spread the channel, share the videos on social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it may be. Thank you all so much for your support. I want to get your thoughts, and if you guys believe that there's some truth to what they're saying. If not, I would love to hear your objective stances. Once again, we are going to be back on the daily video grind in terms of uploading Avengers content, Star Wars content, which I do want to go on ahead and thank you all so much for your support as a creator, because for those that do come here solely for the Vic stuff, I get it, and there's so much more to cover when it comes to the pragmatics of false accusations, which I will be giving you guys other examples for colleges and other celebrities that have been falsely accused. But for those that actually care about me as a content creator, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate your time, and if you guys were to check out the rest of the channel, feel free to do so. We are going to be discussing horror movies, Halloween, all kinds of different content on the channel, creepypastas, explained videos. So again, thank you so much for your time. If you guys have any stories of your own to share, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with some highlight clips for you guys to make up judgments of your own. So again, thank you all so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Well, for the longest time, my only recollection of the rumors and stories online were that I would hug fans that, you know, that didn't want to be hugged, or I would be too close to a fan that didn't appreciate it. Of course, they didn't say anything at the time, but they mentioned it later.
Like I said, dealing with the emotional turmoil, I compartmentalized it. I think that's the term the therapist uses. Compartmentalized it, pushed it away so that it wasn't in the forefront of my brain. It wasn't until I got a text message from the twins saying, hey, we need to talk to you about something. But I think the best thing for us to do is just send you something. So they emailed me their story. And that's when I started to speak up.
Can I ask you to define sexual harassment?
The unwanted touching.
So any unwanted contact is harassment.
Sexual harassment, yeah.
Sexual harassment.
Sure.
I don't agree with your definition personally.
Okay. No, then give me your definition of sexual harassment.
Forcing somebody to engage in sexual related behavior against their will.
Did you produce that email to your attorney?
No, because it didn't mention Vic. It just said we need to talk to you.
Did you ever use physical force to push Vic away from you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever tell him, dude, don't grab my hair, don't whisper in my ear?
Yes, ma'am.
Section form.
Sorry.
A convention organizer may be on the fence based on rumor and social media, but if a voice actress in the industry or a voice actor in the industry calls up and puts pressure, or an animation company like Funimation or Rooster Teeth calls up and puts pressure on a convention, they can certainly sway the conventions having me.
But we've established you got to go to CommandCon, right?
Only after a great deal of back and forth. I was originally canceled, even though I had a contract, because of pressure put on by them and threats. I have also been told, again, I don't know specifics, not yet anyway, that there are other events that the defendants have contacted and encouraged not to have me, or said they weren't going to come and they were going to try to get their other voice actor friends not to come if I was there. A few other voice actors liked and commented on some of this, and I was quite dumbfounded when I found out. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I cast this guy in my show and he was all friendly and and jovial and best buddies, and now he's online joining in on this. It was surprising.
Was it just a total shock to you that these people were coming out that have known you for all these years? And
yes, sir.
You kind of apologize in that letter to people you made feel uncomfortable. I mean, was there anybody in particular you were thinking, or is that just more of a generic?
No, it was generic. It was the idea of somebody that I might have hugged for a photo that didn't say anything at the time, but of course they went home and posted about how they didn't appreciate it or something, and I apologized to those people for not being sensitive to that.
Now, were there allegations floating around after January 16, 2019, that you were a pedophile?
Well, people have been throwing that word around for
For what?
Well, just for a while.
About you?
Yes.
For how long?
I don't know.
I mean, when's the first time you can recall?
I don't recall. Like I said, there are people out there that see me hugging someone for a photo in front of 300 other people and 25 video cameras. It's purely for the photo, and they decide somehow that I'm a pedophile. There is no evidence of that. There's no proof of it. There are no charges. There are no convictions.